Good day everyone. Today we are going to explain you about Bioprocess Engineering Lab Upstream Safety Rules. Now I will introduce our group member. The first one is me, Lim Chiu Tian, No Anissa, Chu Hui Ning and Yong Wen Chun. We are supervised by Dr. Era and we are from section 2. Now I will going to explain you safety rules for general in Bioprocess Lab. First, we need to avoid wearing jewelry in the lab because this can pose multiple hazards. Next, no hose spray will be tolerated in the lab. Also, no cell phone or earphone usage in the portion of the lab or during experiment. Next, long hair or loose clothing must be pulled back and secure from attachment or potential capture. Also, no food and drink are allowed in the lab area and also smoking.
Thank you, Chiu Tian. I'm Hui Ning. I will continue to talk about the general safety rule. The following of the general safety rule is we must always wear a lab coat and keep it buttoned at all times. This is because the lab coat makes sure our body are protected from splash, spill, and even unanticipated reaction. Next, personal protective equipment should be worn in any area where the chemical or microbe are used. The example of personal protective equipment that should be worn in the lab are safety goggles and gloves. Safety goggles can reduce the risk of injury to our eyes, while the glove can protect our hand from infection or irritated by chemical. We need to wear the closed-toe shoes in the laboratory and never wear open-toe shoes or sandals to avoid any toxic pouring on our feet or walking on broken glass. Then, wash your hand with disinfectant soap when you arrive at the lab and again before you leave, even though you use the glove. Next, we need to know the emergency exit route. This is very important because we can evacuate the lab quickly and in a safe way when fire or any accident occur. Lastly, we also need to know the location of safety equipment in the lab, including first aid kit, eye wash station, fire extinguishers, and safety shower. So, that's all about the general safety rule. I will pass to No Anissa to continue talk about the specific biolab rule. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Anissa and I will now explain on the specific laboratory safety rule, especially when dealing with micro. So firstly, make sure to always remember to sterilize first the equipment and material before doing any experiment. Next, never pipette using mouth. This is because in the past time, some lab employees were taught to mouth pipette, which results in many laboratory infections. Therefore, mouth pipetting is strictly prohibited ever since then. In this modern world, pipette has been created, so use them instead of using mouth to pipette. We have to consider everything in the laboratory is biohazard. Therefore, do not pour anything down the sink, but instead, sterilize liquids or broth culture by autoclaving them before discharging. As for solid waste material, dispose them in the biohazard bag and autoclave it before discarding in the regular trash. Dispose any broken glass into the broken glass container, and last but not least, dispose sharp metal object or strange needle in the sharp labeled container. If there are spills or injuries occurred in the laboratory, report them immediately to instructor. If small spill, clean it with care. If large spill, seek help. As for injuries, it does not matter whether it is small or big injury. Just report them to the instructor without hesitation. So now I will pass next slide to my group mate.
Okay, thank you Anissa, and I am Yong Wen Chun. So now let me to continue the specific safety rule. So the first thing we need to do is to keep your workspace free of all unnecessary items. Pipettes, hose should be placed in the cubby holes outside the lab. Besides that, we need to treat all microorganisms as potential pathogens. Use appropriate care such as disinfect water surface, and laboratory equipment before and after use with 70% ethanol or fresh 10% bleach, especially after spills, splash, or other contamination by the microbes. Do not open a petri dish in the lab unless absolutely necessary, and do not take the culture out of laboratory. Petri dish and other containers should be clearly labeled with molality or name. Inoculating loops and needles should be friend sterilized in a Bunsen burner before you let them down. When you are using the Bunsen burner, be sure that you do not have any papers and combustible items under you. Long hair must be restrained if the Bunsen burner are in use. Turn off the Bunsen burner when not in use. Thank you for your attention.